Hey guys, man I love Bluey. I would love to relax and drink my favorite drink out of my Bluey cup while holding a bingo plush, playing Bluey the video game, and enjoying some Bluey cereal. Yes, I'm crazy.
This episode of It'sCruzTube is called Bluey the Video Game. Why am I doing this in my life? You're paying me for this, right?
Bluey, a 2018 toddler show created by Joe Brum and produced by Ludo Studios, is about this rectangular dog who mostly plays role games with her sister Bingo, who is my favorite character by the way, and her dad named Bandit, who is an archaeologist. And the mom exists too, I guess. It's pretty much a slice-of-life show, and the Sleepy Time episode alone is somehow one of the highest rated TV episodes on IMDb. Alright, let's get into what we're doing today. 2 years ago, the official Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and Bluey account released an announcement that a Bluey video game was in the works, and at the time, I wasn't a Bluey fan, but I looked at this and I thought, this looks decent, until I saw a little logo that says OG on it, and that OG is Outright Games. Basically the LJN of the 21st century, so I kinda didn't have any high hopes for it. 2 years later, I bought it anyways, cause it was Bluey related. I need help, and I have the PS5 version because if a super realistic gaming console needs anything else in the world, it's a game about an Australian dog, so let's pop it in. Made with Unity.
Ha, good one.
We start with the show's intro, but with game stuff on it, and it's one of the best parts about the game already. The character selection is just what you expected. You can play as Bandit, Bluey, Bingo, and Chili. And that's pretty much it. I'll just stick with Bingo, cause, again, favorite character. The story starts off with Bluey and Bingo waking up their parents for vacation. Or I'm sorry, holiday. But before we go on holiday, we have to clean up all the animal plushies, and literally the first frame of the actual game is just Bingo staring at my soul. While the backgrounds are in 3D, I like how they use the same 2D models from the show instead of trying to make a separate 3D model of the characters, so it's kinda like the South Park games a little bit. And I like how they walk slowly down the stairs. I mean, safety first and all, but they could just slide down the rails of the stairs. Or hell, they could just jump all the way down, and you don't even need stairs, because that's totally safe. But you definitely need a doctor after doing that. After we picked up all the toys, we see an unblown balloon, and we decided to play Keepy Uppy, which is based off the episode of the same name, where we try to keep the balloon from hitting the ground or grass. But apparently, it's already on the grass, and it hasn't popped. Yeah, that totally makes sense. It's just mostly hitting the square button and slightly moving a different direction. And then randomly Bandit Mario'd the balloon, and it was going into a baby's room? I mean, it's clearly what it is, but I think it's mostly a storage unit or something. Or maybe it's the miscarriage reference, I don't really know. We got the balloon, and eventually we found a map that was an old map that Bandit had since the 80s, and of course, we have to find the rest of the map, so that we can find some berries treasured that's been buried for 3 decades. And now, let's go to the park. But before that, I know this is nitpicky, but why are the cutscenes in a movie aspect ratio while the rest of the game isn't 16:9? So we arrived at the park, and we meet Muffin, who is also one of my favorites, and Uncle Stripe.
My name is Boo Boo Bop.
Okay, we meet Boop Boop Bop Boop and Uncle Stripe, and we are basically playing The Four is Lava, and we have to get hats in order to play. And as we're getting the hats, you can definitely hear that the voice actor for Bluey is getting older.
I think I see them.
I know it happens, but that's just life, I guess. So we played The Ground is Lava, and I'm done. This game is hard. After that game, Stripe gave us the second piece of the map, and we're 2/3 of the way.
Dad, I'm busting. Let's go.
In a minute, Muffy.
What? I'm busting.
Muffin, please don't say that ever again. There's children playing this. The next episode, yes, they're labeled as episodes, is called Chattermax, and we had to go into the backyard and turn off all the sprinklers just to see Uncle Rad and find the last piece of the map. But Rad gave us another one of those annoying pieces of shit that the episode is called, and we have to feed Chattermax with various items from strawberries to rubber duckies. While feeding Chattermax, we introduced a new mechanic to this game, and it's planting flowers. Wow, so interesting. And once we gave him all the things to eat, he goes batshit crazy and we have to catch it in order to get the last piece of the map. We suddenly found another Chattermax, which is basically the same thing, but it's purple instead of red. But we did actually find the real one, and we put him in jail, and we completed the map. But we still have the quest left. The next episode is called Treasure, but the intro to this episode is based off the very first episode, and that is the Magic Xylophone, where whenever someone has a xylophone and uses it, they freeze. And it basically segued into another minigame, and considering it's mostly meant to be a local multiplayer type of game, the computers just don't feel like they want to be there for some reason. We eventually get to the creek to find the lost treasure, and we have to pick up garbage. I thought this game was about Bluey, not doing community service. Also, they say rubbish instead of garbage. It's not like they're Australian or anything. After all that trouble, the treasure was this He-Man type of toy called Power Bloke. And Bandit tells us a backstory of why it was buried. It's actually interesting that this game actually has some ideas put into it. Like, they thought of this toy just for this game, and it wasn't mentioned in the show afterward. Back at the house, Bluey was bummed out that they spent all their vacation just looking for the treasure, and there was no gold. And then Bandit shows us a photo album about the whole adventure, and Bluey realized it's not about the gold, but it's mostly about the journey. And then the story ends. But we're not done yet. We're at the beach, and there's still more things to do to really complete this game, and also to platinum this game. Yes, I decided to platinum this game because why not? The collectibles are consisting of 3 hockey sticks, 3 pavlovas, which is a New Zealand cake thing, 3 newspapers, and 3 leaf bug things from the weekend episode. But you also have to collect all this crap to finish the sticker book, like planting all the flowers, collecting all the toys, and sports balls. And most of the collecting is just mostly consisting of
Yay! Wow, you got a city sport. That's awesome.
The funniest part about this whole journey is that when I was filling up the watering can in the creek, the water goes under the water fountain instead of going up like it's supposed to. After collecting all those things, you get a picture of the Healer family hanging out at the beach. And while I was recording this video, before it was completed, I thought the water was milk, considering it was a lot of white instead of blue. And 2 hours later, I got the last trophy, and that's for sliding on a slide 3 times in a row. And somehow, this is the hardest part of the game. I basically spent like 10 minutes trying to get it, but Sony doesn't want to give me that trophy. But somehow I got it. And somehow I also 100%ed a game in 4 hours. I could really say that I'm done with this game. But what complaint about it is that this game on the PlayStation Store, it's $40. I bought my copy for $20, and that's basically what it should have been. Because there's not that much content and replay value, other than the stories and the collectibles. I guess you can replay the mini games with your family or something, but that gets really old fast. So, in conclusion,
for a game made by Outright Games, Bluey the Video Game is actually pretty decent. You can definitely tell that they put some love, care, and effort into this game instead of being a run-of-the-mill cash grab, even if licensed kids games on consoles don't really exist anymore, unlike the 2000s and 2010s. But, in the end, hey, are you interested in these Bluey fruit snacks?